this thing's got enough power to reach out for several miles.
He kind of just looks at Tremy, and he's equipping the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And just looks at her and says, "Wow, you could have given it to the others. You just don't like them, do you?"
They had a plan. Looks like they deviated.
He shrugs.
All right, well, maybe we should go and see if they're okay then. Yeah, so I guess we head out, Scott.
Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. So what you guys are going to do, so she does give you the other two. So when she says they have a plan deviated or whatever, she will take the other two and hand them to Cracks, obviously for you to give to them should you bump into them. As you guys are walking away from the ship over towards the facility, one of the things that you hear is she will say to you over that little intercom thing. However, it's not built into your headset, your helmets, so it does actually have an audible noise that you can literally hear it coming from there. It's not super quiet, so you do hear her say, "Just testing it. Can you guys hear me at that range?"
Yep.
Oh,
Correct.
hold on, it's coming in shitty. When you with your yup, she's like, "Hold on, Winnie, it's coming in shitty. Ugh, I should have kept you here to work on this thing." No, wait, test that again. Can you hear me?
Yep, testing.
Oh, there we go. You're coming in clean now. All right, we should be good at least for the first 2 to 3 miles. If you go further than that, I'm gonna have to add a booster of power onto this thing. All right?
So while she's speaking and Krax is testing, or while Trevi's testing, Krax is trying to slide it inside his helmet and close his helmet real quick so it doesn't fall out.
Wait, what is he trying to do?
He's trying to put it against his cheek and move his hand so it doesn't fall and close his helmet at the same time.
That
just
works,
so it stays inside.
That works for the purpose of listening. However, much like an old school radio has a button on the side of it for you to speak back, you won't be able to respond. Now, what would be really funny is if Krax is like,
yeah, I was about to say.
I can talk to you now. Like press the button with his tongue or something.
No, every time, the first couple times he tries to speak, he's like, you can see his helmet moving, like he's trying to push the button with either his tongue or with his chin. And there's probably a point where if they're having a long conversation where he's just going to start turning around because he's not looking where he's going.
Okay, so Trevi doesn't really talk to you guys very much while you're traveling. She actually was just kind of testing range. But eventually you guys were able to make your way over to that same kind of rock area that we had discussed beforehand. I believe it was Winnie that discovered that spot for them to sneak up to anyways. While you guys are standing at that rock, the one that gives you complete cover from the facility itself, you can see it off to the side. Once again, you know that the sun is coming up in just a couple hours. It's pretty nearby at this point. The facility over there is completely surrounded by lights that point immediately down, and then a couple of other bigger ones that point outwards. It's not like it's run like a prison where they're clearly just trying to always see inmates always, but it is just they're on a planet. It is an Alliance facility. This is standard lighting that they're going to do for their bases or buildings of significance, right? So you guys do notice that over there.
Okay.
Do you start heading towards the building, or what do you do while standing and hiding behind this rock? You just kind of wait there? Do you reach out to them with your regular comms?
Oh god, what was the stupid code name that Krex came up with for the ship?
I don't know.
The ship's name is the Glorious Rust Bucket.
Yeah, but remember when we shot the other guys down? I don't remember. It was some stupid. I have it written down somewhere, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, I think Krex is going to reach out on the regular radio and just be he's not going to say anything incriminating, obviously, but general conversations so, how's everyone doing tonight?
What about airplane food, am I right?
Do we hear that? There's no kind of...
Okay, before you guys can respond to that, Ollie, you were searching for something. What were you searching for?
I can use my telekinesis anywhere I can see. I can see that these two guards are looking for cattle. I basically do... As far as I can see behind them, there's some rubble. I'm going to telekinesis shove like so just it falls and makes a bunch of noise, you know.
Absolutely. So remember, the ruins are ruins by definition, but they're not actually in ruin and rubble. But I understand what you're saying. You're saying
In which case, I would
but you can find
I would push
stuff
a tree more that
Exactly.
accurately, so like the birds fly out and all that.
Exactly.
Sort of thing.
No, you can definitely make. So we'll say you actually put in the force against the tree. Then you snap a branch over there, and it makes a really loud snap, and as like a bunch of birds fly away.
More birds.
And because they're reacting, actually almost immediately afterwards, you see a large bird kind of like swoop by, and with its talons snatches up a handful of the other birds as it's like literally flying by and grabs up a few of those.
Oh.
And so the humans
Cycle of
react
life.
to the snap of the branch. They react to the birds flying, kind of like looking over in that direction. They start heading over there at not jogging, but at a much more hasty pace, heading over that direction. But when that thing flies overhead, you can see that immediately they react. Like one of them actually runs and dives for cover underneath something, and another one kind of like drops down low, and he's got his gun up high, and he's like clearly freaking out. Roll for me because you can see this. He can't. Perception, charisma check, please.
He pooped himself.
They scared. They scared.
Good roll. You can tell, based off of their reactions, they've had encounters with these things before. This isn't a surprise in what these are.
Okay, I'm happy with that. Getting a good roll for that. While this is going on, after they just started jogging away, I'll rush over to Cattle if I can find him, or if not, maybe I'll stand up a little more, make myself a bit more obvious for a moment so he can see me, that sort of thing.
Definitely make your way to Cattle. There's no question about that. I'm actually going to allow you, because they're so distracted, you get a really good idea. Roll for me a stealth check with a +2.
Oh, nice.
Cattle, roll me your perception with a wisdom.
12.
Awesome. So Cattle, you obviously heard the snap. You heard the birds. You saw the big one go by, and then eventually you see one of the humans kind of like moving past you once they kind of like get up and start moving again. Moving past, not right next to where you are, but like you see them move through your line of sight over towards something off to the side where you heard that loud snap come from. So you have no idea what that is, why it is, so on and so forth. But then all of a sudden, Ollie, you're standing literally right next to Cattle. He rolled less than half of what you did. He has no clue you're breathing on him when you get there.
Yeah, guess what? His hand on the shoulder. That's how she basically says hello.
Yep. So, all of a sudden she has a hand on your shoulder, which you're accustomed to-ish now.
And she melds with him.
Well, I was doing it earlier when we were stealthing, like, guiding him around. Oh, where's Anthro gone? Hand.
Yep.
There she is. She's behind you.
Cattle, how do you react to that?
I'm cold-blooded. It's fine.
Yeah. You're like, I'll just take the warm hands. Thanks. I've worked with a ton of people like that where they're just kind of like, I'm just going to put my hand here and steal your warmth for a moment. And I'm just like...
Little basic bitch necromancers over there.
Right? Little Ark's Minor Drain going on. So anyways... all right, so as you're kind of like the hands rest on your shoulder, and I imagine you don't even turn to look, you just kind of like a little bit of your own tension eases because you know that she's with you. Both of you guys can kind of like slink away. I'll work off of that 12 snake. You guys kind of slink away to an area where you know you're removed from them, and you can have kind of free conversation. As you guys sneak away, whichever of you is the first one to speak, you literally open your mouth to speak, and all of a sudden inside your comms, which since you're not wearing your helmet is kind of like on the side of your ear, in your comms you hear, "So, how's everybody's night going?"
Not now, Cracks.
Cracks, without being on the radio, just turns to Winnie, just says, "Yeah, they probably got captured."
Okay.
Or, they're currently in the process of being captured or running away.
Okay.
So we should continue forward?
I mean, hopefully Winnie heard the passive aggression in there.
Winnie did hear the conversation. So.
She did.
Winnie is oblivious to any
But
aggression.
she's also
though.
probably thinks that Cracks knows more about sneaking and combat and stuff, so...
Right.
Rip.
Now, Winnie
Yeah.
is a sniper, but is she like a scout, or is just using a sniper rifle something that she happens to be good at?
That.
Okay, so she's
The
not
latter.
she's not any good at like picking up tracks or anything like that at all.
No, I mean I can try.
No. Well, I mean, if it's not something that she would do instinctively, I don't know.
It would not be something she would do instinctively. No.
Then we won't even worry about it. Okay.
Cool.
So you guys are behind the rock over there. What are you gonna do? You gonna stay there for a little bit, or are you gonna take an action?
I mean, I wait to see what Crax is gonna do.
That's bad.
Oh, Craig just keeps walking.
He's gonna
forward.
throw explosives
Rock
at
forward.
something.
I mean, she'll follow.
Are you? So we went the long way round into the city. I imagine they're taking the straight line, and we'll end up meeting in the middle.
More or less, yeah.
They're gonna like walk right up to the lights, like, oh, hey guys, what's this building?
Oh no! Like once we see the lights, we're gonna skirt around those.
Okay. Well, the lights go
Like
around
Krogan
the
impression.
entire 360 of the building, so it's up to you as to what skirting around means, because at some point in time you're going to have to step into it if you intend to approach the building. Now, when I say light up the whole area around, we're talking only the first, like, I don't know, 12.5 meters are fully lit, and then beyond that, it's like dim light, and beyond that's darkness of nighttime. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's the whole area is like lit up for a mile out or anything ridiculous. All right, so you guys are over there with the humans. You finally like, not now, Cracks, and then speak to one another about the human situation.
Does
You have to
Winnie
go
have
the
a
long way
silencer?
I'm starting to drop
What?
frames.
I don't-
Fucking
I'm-
Comcast!
I'm
Yeah,
dying.
everything's going right now.
Yeah.
Robot.
It's the human.
It's Skype.
It's the bird.
Oh no, we're just testing the dissolution of net neutrality. That's all. Like, how's this gonna
Oh,
work?
yes.
Oh, hey, look. Go ahead, Frank. You were saying something.
Oh, sorry. I was just asking if Winnie had like a silencer on their sniper rifle or anything.
No.
Damn. That's unfortunate.
It's fucking
We
loud.
do not believe in silencers in this universe.
All right. To Carol, just be like, they're doing some kind of research in this area. We should go the long way around. These scientists are witless, and then she kind of trails off while looking at cattle.
Well, took us long enough to bump into them. At least this means they're not inside.
I'm expecting there to be more inside, but it means we're close. And
So-
maybe if they're about, that means they'll leave it more or less a trail for us to get back inside their facility, which is exactly what we need.
So you guys are starting to make your way there to the trail. If I'm cutting off your conversation, please let me know. To make your trail, you're gonna roll me a sneak check again. However, you're actually gonna be able to choose dexterity, intelligence, or wisdom for this one. You guys actually have like the whole gambit based off of how you want to sneak. Tell me what you roll.
I want to snake charisma. No.
Well,
Cool with that. Maybe for some Assassin's Creed shit that I can't really do because I'm blue.
I'm gonna sneak while
Um,
studying for a test.
What was I about to? I was about to say.
I fail.
No, yeah. Conversations between Cattle and Antori are very short because we actually understand what we're talking about to each other. It seems. Oh no!
you guys both roll.
One time I'm allowed to use wisdom. Like
Yeah.
a 4.
Yeah, you rolled a 3 and a 1. Oh, don't forget too, by the way, that inside your party pool, there are currently 2 dice in total inside the Mass Effect.
I would have
party
liked
pool
to
as
have
well.
used that there
Yeah.
actually.
Well, because you had them last week and nobody used them last week. So,
I'm never gonna remember that.
do you want to use one now
Yeah.
since I didn't remind you at the beginning of the session?
I would, yeah. How do I do?
You just
that? I
roll
get
one, just slash
d6.
roll 1d6.
With the benefit of hindsight.
Slash roll 1d6 and you take that or a 1. So yours is 3 higher. You have an 8. Cattle, technically, you could have used one too. I don't know if you would have or not.
Probably not.
Okay, because you would be replacing a 1 with whatever you rolled.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you save the other one in the pool. So as
We
you guys,
have a box like on the screen we see and chat doesn't that says how many of those we have, like in one of the corners.
Oh yeah, I was actually doing that right now.
wait, what are you saying? I'm sorry.
On the map we see, but chat doesn't see.
Oh,
It's
that would
like
have to be
general.
there would have to be way
In the
off to
corner
side.
where they can't see.
Yeah. No, I
You
get what
could
you're
just
saying.
text box how many they have.
I get what
It's
you're
just
How
they
saying.
many
can't
we
see
have,
that,
so we
right?
actually know.
I can do that. I can do that later on. I also have someone's working on a what's it called? A macro, not macro.
micro.
Sorry, an API to be able to keep track of. So as you guys spend action points in the Friday game, you can just click a button and it ticks it down. And as people add them, I can just add them to your pool, so I don't have to say them out loud. You can just see the action
same
point
sort of
total that
thing.
you have. Yeah, it's just.
I am going to use my engineer ability to re-roll that check.
Oh.
Because I'm
remembered.
terrible at figuring out when a scene changes. I'm just going to use it and I'll just bother you. And it's like, is it time for me to use that again?
If it's scene change, you're right. But isn't that engineer ability once per session?
It's no once per scene.
Once per scene is exactly
Really?
correct.
If it was once per session, that would be awful.
I mean, that's why I thought it was awful. But I only ever used it once per session because I was sure it was once per session.
Yep, once per scene. Okay, just like the other ones, once per combat. All right, so you guys are there and sneaking your way along to the best of your ability with your 6 and your 8. You're skirting your way around. The cattle, unfortunately, like just the way that you're moving, you're kicking up a little bit of. You're not kicking up any dirt. You're not making any sound or anything. But at one point in time, all of a sudden, you can hear Antari, sorry, you can hear that one of the people off in the distance be like, "Hey, do you see these tracks here? No, these are definitely tracks." And they look kind of like listening to where that was and knowing that you guys weren't walking side by side. You're like, shit, they picked up cattle's tracks at one point in time.
I was gonna say Solarian have weird horse feet, so it's
But-
kind of obviously not human.
It's not one of those like he failed so much that they saw him immediately and started shooting. They
They're
just
just
know that
they
there's
are
a,
aware.
there's a presence there, and with what happened prior, they're definitely aware of the fact that there's a.
I
recent
would,
presence here. But
with
they're a
our
distance behind you.
With our comm line, I imagine there's some sort of thing set up. I just press a button, so like our HUDs both go to like amber alert, like we're being spotted.
Okay.
The "you fucked up" button.
Yeah, but not the "we're about to die" button. The
got-
weird "death is imminent" button.
You guys are able to, and based off what you choose to roll, is going to change what you potentially could find. You can roll for me either a perception or a survival check. With either one of those, you can roll me a wisdom or intelligence. So tell me what you're rolling as you roll it.
I'm going to roll perception intelligence because it's all garbage.
No survival skill, I'm fairly sure.
Okay, so you guys are making your way along, trying to get out of there as quickly as you can, and you do. You get out of there. You eventually are able to find the road that they clearly traveled down. Like it takes you a while to find it, but you can eventually find the road that they clearly traveled down to get here. But by the time that you find that road and you get to it, you're like, okay, cool. Oh, this must be the one. This heads. Look at checking out your Omni tool. Head straight to the facility. This is clearly the one that came down. Oh, they have tracks here. They took some sort of vehicle to get here. When you turn back and you look and you kind of like bust out the little shitty scope and you look, you can see that a good distance past them is an unguarded vehicle that they clearly took again to drive to get here. It's unguarded, but now it's so far behind you by the time you made your way to the road that you're like, it would be a gamble going back. Whereas it won't be a gamble, it'll just be slow going
Why would
forward.
we ever go back to that vehicle?
Just saying.
I don't think there's any.
It would make a lot of sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would make a lot of sound. We would be stealing from them, so we'd get shot. Like I don't think there could possibly be a reason why we'd want that, other than we're sneaking in, but then we probably don't have the key codes or whatever. I don't think either of us would even consider going back for that.
Awesome.
We just acknowledge it.
Yeah.
So you guys continue hoofing it, making your way to the facility, and then just one last check I need you to make for me before we're finally done with this travel scene. To answer your question, Rick,
Montage.
it is going to be exert Constitution.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute, I'm okay. I'm good with that. This is when I missed that Rockwell actually had training in exert for some reason.
Okay.
He just
Nice.
did a lot of push-ups.
Okay, so by the time you guys finally get to the facility, and I'll describe what you see in a moment. By the time you guys finally get to this facility, Entree is, she's a little tired. She's been traveling all night long. Her legs are sore. Her feet are sore. Various parts of her back and arms are a bit sore because of, she always has to get herself into awkward positions.
I also got bitten by a bird for, 5 minutes.
I was going to say, not to mention your ribs and whatnot are achy because, this thing's beak were trying to bite down at you. One time it actually bit down to your chest. The rest of the time it was your arm. It was crushing and you're like, oh my God, you can already feel the bruise forming. Where your arm is, you can already feel your elbow is, not as... however, Cattle, you have an extremely fast metabolism. You don't have to sleep very much. However, you do require that short amount of sleep that you need. Otherwise, your body starts running out of energy very, very, very quickly, and you have to consume lots more calories to keep going. You're feeling dehydrated, very dehydrated, being an aquatic creature, and definitely kind of groggy. That being said, Entree, you're sore, you're achy, but you're fine. Sorry, Rick. Unless you get your 1 hour of sleep, you're going to be taking -1s to your checks moving forward.
Oh.
Yeah.
You really want me dead, don't you?
We did go the long way for most of it, though.
Yeah.
I totally forgot. I was like, sorry, you're a
I would
long-lived
have brought
race.
a
It'll be
juice
fine.
box.
I didn't think that Solarian would tire himself out because he didn't tell me.
So,
I didn't fucking know.
So, there are a
So
few ways
interesting.
around this. One, you can legit just sleep for an hour. You guys don't have any, mind, speeding up drugs, do you?
No, I gave them
No.
to Rex.
I would have brought a juice box if you told me this would happen. But...
I mean, I actually do have my rations on me. So if you tell me you're hungry, I can give you some.
Yeah, you guys will be taking, a 10-minute, quick break as you kind of analyze the facility in a moment anyways. So let's describe what you see. So as you approach the facility, you finally get there, and it's not like you're coming up a hill and all of a sudden crest it, and it's there. No. You guys are leaving the ruins, and this facility is set about 100 meters just after the last building of the ruins. Because the ruins aren't some crazy complex that was just no, the ruins just, it's a wall of it that starts. It was a city. So it had a very dense inner area, and then it fanned out to thinner and thinner and thinner as it went out, much like a typical city would, but then kind of it stops and it goes into a huge open grassland area, which is a little uncommon, but not crazy, right? So as you guys go to the thinner area and you finally make your way through the place, navigating around where you think you find sensors that are of human make, where you think you hear sentries over there, but you're trying to avoid because you don't want to approach them. It could cause bad things to happen. You finally make your way as close to the facility as possible and literally to the last building that is giving you full cover between the building and yourself. The last building gives you full cover from the angle that you're approaching. Technically, there's one more building that's closer, but because of the fact it's set directly in front of the facility, you're assuming they probably have sensors around that one too. So you just chose a spot where you think is safe. The building itself is, as I said, 100 meters from you. It is lit around, but from this angle, you can see that the initial, the building, it's not designed to be it's oblong in shape, but it's not designed to just be a huge turtle shell that's all sealed up all around. It's designed to be a turtle shell that actually at least has one head spot or tail spot opening, where it's literally a hole that goes into the facility, much like you would imagine a hangar where a ship would land. This looks like where all the vehicles drive into or drive out of when going into the ruins. So that is completely open for you guys to see the carport for all the Makos and whatnot to pull into. Make me a perception check with your whoever. You guys can either take turns or one person with your.
We
Scope.
take turns, I guess. Why not?
Sure.
If we're
Then both of you
doing
guys
it
can-
at the
Yeah.
moment. Wisdom?
You're going to apply the -1 to this one right now, Rick, okay?
Yeah, so that's a 4.
Cool. So, Rick, you're looking over there, and you're able to kind of count out all the different areas, where. So more or less, where you guys assumed you saw cameras and everything beforehand, Cattle kind of focuses on that because he's more about like the information or whatever. And so he's able to confirm that all the places where you guys were concerned cameras were are in fact there, and that logic continues into the facility itself. It's fun because like the cameras will definitely be able to see anybody walking in and out, but based off of the type of cameras that you see will change what kind of sight that they have. Could you roll me a lore intelligence check, please, Rick?
That's a 7.
Perfect. So while you're looking around and to kind of like examine the kind of cameras they have, definitely regular range of sight. They also have IR scanners built into them, but they don't have anything else. There's not like electromagnetic, UV, anything like that. They're just plain old
face scanning tech would have been the scary thing.
Yeah, no, nothing like that that you can tell is here. It's just regular cameras with IR readers as well. Okay. Now you, Antari, what you see when you Antare. What, am I saying it right?
Yes.
Yes. So you, Antare, what you see as you look into the facility is there are guards that are inside there. The reason why I go guards is there are 2 guys that are standing in the facility leaning against the wall. One of them smoking a cigarette, the other one is pulling out a deck of cards and throwing them and dealing them out onto a table.
So okay, I imagine we relay both things back and forth
Easily.
Yeah, I would have a little pause in between relaying things as I like, I'm not feeling too great right now because apparently I get really dehydrated really quickly.
I can deal with the cameras, but it would put them at slight alert at the very least. I'd send engineers our way, but if we get in there quickly, we won't have to worry about that.
You see, Cattle just slowly. I should be able to. I should be able to handle the cameras. Don't worry about that. I should be able to spoof something on there to looping footage, that sort of thing.
I didn't know. I didn't think Cattle had the hacking Omni tool. The super long range one.
The engineer one, yeah.
Then yeah.
He didn't give a shit about illegal stuff. It was Winnie.
Oh yeah, it was
stuff.
Winnie who didn't have the illegal thing. Yeah, in which case I don't even know. I would have brought it up, but yeah, I imagine you're already doing it.
Well, the way that you're saying it, I imagine you look at him just looking kind of like grayish and tired. You'd be like, well, I can handle the cameras, but it was one of those like offering to be nice, and he's just like, no, I've got it. That's kind of like how I saw the scene play out before I realized that was literally you just forgetting that.
I have 2 guards. They both appear to be men, and they're very distracted, so we should be able to sneak in, and if we fail, then you might be able to sneak in, and I distract them.
You do forget that I'm not exactly the most subtle of people.
No, but I can keep their attention. You cannot.
Well, I'll keep their attention, all right, but for a very different reason.
I would rather...
Anyway, I'm not feeling too great right now because my metabolism is catching up to me. Because someone didn't tell me that might be a thing.
Traveling all night long at a high pace, high stress environment. No, it never catches up to you.
I mean, if I could, I would, but apparently my med kit and my ration packs don't include water.
Oh, no, he has water, but again, it's just a matter of exhaustion. My description of why just
I guess I could
just
IV
point of
help
exhaustion.
him if he was asleep, but I can't here.
If I were to put in 5e terms, he gains 1 level of exhaustion.
I get it.
Yeah.
That would have made more sense to me than like, oh yeah, you're thirsty.
Oh, I'm sorry for putting a story spin onto a mechanical effect.
You gotta do a story spin and then say the mechanical effect.
I did, -1.
But
yeah, you told me up front how to get rid of it.
Anyway.
Yeah, sleep.
Jeez.
Sleep. All right. So, anyways, we're gonna take our break now. When we come back, we're gonna come back to Winnie and Cracks approaching the facility from their angle, and see how it is that Cracks thinks is the best way to handle the situation. So, we'll see everybody.
Demo charges.
We'll see everybody in 5 minutes.
But to sneak in.